for streaming. Yep.
Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see you here. Welcome. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh. It is Sunday, May 11th. It is Mother's Day. It is a beautiful spring day outside. And here we are inside, in community, together. I am Mac Perkins High. I use he and they pronouns, and I serve as the intern minister of this church. However you came through these doors today, you are welcome. Whatever you believe, you are welcome. Whoever you love, you are welcome here. Thank you for being with us today. I have a couple of announcements for you. The first, this is a very special service for us. It is our coming of age service. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it means that today is a day where some of our youth will come up and share their theologies with us as they understand them right now. And we will celebrate them in their deep theological work, in their ability to articulate what they have been working on, and knowing that where they are today is not where they will be forever, and yet it is still a wonderful place to be. I also have a couple of other announcements. We have coffee, as usual, after the service downstairs, and if you would like to get a cool button like I am wearing, all you need to do is donate somewhere between $1,000 and $100,000 to our capital campaign. And Brian Junker will find you. And Al will find you, and they will bestow you with such wonderful buttons. More than 100,000 is fine, I'm hearing from our minister. And I would back that up as well. I'd be excited about that. I also have 2 things to announce for next week. May 18th, also a Sunday, will be our annual meeting. So we'll be meeting at 4:30 downstairs in the Undercroft. There will be potluck food. No, here in the sanctuary. There will still be potluck food, potluck drinks, potluck desserts. There will be church governance. It'll be wonderful. May 18th will also be my last day serving this congregation. So if you want to come to service, I'll be preaching. It will be worse than today with our youth preaching, but it'll be fun. And I hear that we will have a special coffee hour afterwards. And that's all I've got for announcements. So with that, I invite you into your bodies. Feel yourself in this space, your back against the chair. Take a breath. I now invite up Erica Shadowsong.
We turn to our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. If you have a chalice at home, we invite you to light it at this time. We light this chalice in the name of peace and in the name of recognition of the courage of these young people who have staked their claim in the world and their views and are willing to share them with us. So thank you for being a light to us. May this flame burn bright in your heart and mind as we worship together.
Thank you, Erica. Please join your voices with mine for our collective reading. The words can be found in your order of service. Oh, but first we're doing the hymn. I also double juke here. We are doing a different hymn than is written in the order of service because it turns out that no one knew the original hymn. And out of kindness to our little Unitarian Universalist hearts, we will instead be doing number 91 in the gray hymnal, Mother of All. So please rise in body or spirit for that. Now please join your voices with mine for our collective reading, which can be found in your order of service. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We covenant to practice interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence. To practice pluralism, we celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. To practice justice, we work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all thrive. To practice transformation, we adapt to the changing world. To practice generosity, we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. To practice equity, we declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. And I'll invite up our minister, Kate Walker, for the story.
We're working on it. It is a good morning. But we're going to, oh, yes. There we go. Big shout out to our tech wizards. Thank you very, very much. They're so awesome for running tech. So I'm going to have the all ages stay in your pews with your parental units today, just because we do have some extra tech equipment in here, and it would be good to keep them in place. Yeah. So a long time ago, and not that long ago, there was a time when music was pretty familiar to everybody. There was lots of classical music. And people were comfortable with that. Everybody liked it. There was a few variations, though, that tried to shift into the music world. There was jazz. And that was pretty powerful because it was coming from the Black and African American communities, which was really a big push. But then something powerful happened. A man named Chuck Berry hit the world. And other music started to come along that the young people liked to listen to, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and shocked the world. Shocked the world. The young people were like, yeah, getting out of their pews, and they were rocking the house. And you know what the parents and the grandparents were doing? Oh, no. Oh, no, no. It was really, for the most part, no, it was not a good reaction. And then there was this generational gap that the kids and the parents and grandparents and all the seniors were like, oh, no, we're not talking about that. No, we're not talking about that music. Mm-mm. But you know what? They had to. They had to talk about the new music. And that's one example of a lot of generational gaps where the kids, right, all of you younger than, say, 25, you want to talk about stuff. You want to talk about stuff like, where do babies come from? You want to talk about rock and roll. You want to talk about maybe, what else? Things you want to talk about that your parents may not be ready to talk about. What are some other things? Politics. Babies, yeah. What else?
Politics.
I can't hear. Politics. Okay, yeah, politics. Yeah, money. Yeah, trust me, the parents don't like to talk to each other about money. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah. What else? Video games. Yeah, can you talk to your parents about video games? A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. There's another topic that a lot of parents don't really know how to talk about either. God. death, oh dear, what they believe in, what they hold as most important. And here we are, you know, in a church, and it's sometimes still hard to talk about big topics like this. And so today, we're going to hear from our coming of age class, and they're going to talk about things that some of their parents have not even thought about for a very long time. They've just kind of said, I'll deal with it someday. Or maybe they thought about it long ago and they said that was enough. And they haven't really returned to the topic. So today, our coming of age class, they're going to show their parents how to talk about this. They're going to show their courage, how to step up and say, this is what I've been thinking about for the last year. So I also, after today, invite our kids, go right up to your mom, your dad, your moms, your dads, your grandparents, and say, hey, what do you believe about God? You tell them I said that, okay? You go right up and you just ask them, what do you believe about? And what do you think about? And just invite them into conversation. Because there's one thing I know, that parents, a lot of them, have never done this before. So particularly if their first kid, I guarantee you, they've never done this before. And so they're still trying to figure it out. So for the kids, could you do me a favor and be light on them, be nice to them, don't judge them too harshly. They're trying to figure it out, little by little, yeah? Just thank them. They're still trying to figure it out. And now, if you have multiple siblings that are older than you, exactly. Exactly, yeah. Then you can tell them you need to just kind of step into the role, man. You've been doing this for a while. But invite them to have those difficult conversations like, what do you think about rock and roll? Or what do you think about sex? What do you think about politics or money or God? Yeah. All good? Yeah? This is a place you can have those conversations, I hope. Yeah. So we're going to send our kids out in a minute, but Erica said she wanted to do a quick announcement.
Hello. Our tech team is being super, super awesome today. You don't even know how awesome they're being. I wanted to let everybody who is interested in egg news know that there are still 3 sparkly eggs hidden somewhere in the church, waiting to be found, as well as the golden egg has not yet been found. Today, because we are going to be honoring our high schoolers, we want to invite first grade and up to stay with us in the service, and the pre-K is going to go to their class as usual.
That's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandfather's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Good morning. My name's Maria Laro, and I serve on the Board of Trustees here at this church. I use she, her pronouns, and for those with visual difficulties, I'm a white woman with medium-length salt and pepper hair. And like our youth here today, I grew up in this church, so I'm a child of the 70s. My memories of Sunday school include things that are icons of that era, like there was the "War is not healthy for children and other living things" poster in the classroom. I'm sure many of you remember that. and we had the book Free to Be You and Me in the library. In my Sunday school classes, we talked about peace and justice and fairness. We learned about world religions, about caring for the earth, and most importantly, we learned how to think for ourselves. It was not about memorizing creeds, it was about asking the big questions and discovering what we believed together. And as I grew up and entered the adult world, I carried those UU values with me. And when I had a child of my own, I knew exactly where we needed to be. In 2005, I brought my then 5-year-old son Leo to RE, knowing that he'd find a place that would nurture his spirit and teach him that he's whole and beloved just as he is. He found friends and mentors and opportunities to lead. He even served as the youth member on the search committee that brought us our wonderful Erica. And RE in those years had built on what I had known. You know, it was still grounded in justice and inclusion, but there was more attention to anti-racism and environmental stewardship. And what was not really common back in my day was affirmation of the LGBTQ community. So now my son's grown. He lives in another city, and like many young adults, he has other ideas about how to spend his Sunday mornings rather than coming to church. But I know he's been absolutely shaped by the values that he learned here. And my hope is that if he does ever become a parent, he'll bring his children to a UU congregation and say, this is what I want for my kids too. So all of this brings me to our Mason wing, the wing to the side where we have our RE program. It was built in 1954. It has welcomed generations of children and youth, just like me and Leo and the young people here today, who are going to share what they believe about life. It's nurtured questions and conversations and friendships and faith for 71 years. And it's still doing that, if I could use the word holy work, with its original boiler. That boiler was brand new in 1954, and it has served us faithfully for 71 years, but it is long, long past time to let it have a well-earned retirement. We owe it to our children and to the future of this community to ensure that the Mason Wing and all of our building, this fabulous space, this historic space, continues to hold us and our future generations as safely and as warmly as it held previous generations. So now, as Reverend Kate says, we adults don't necessarily like to talk money, but now I've gotten to the money part of my testimonial. That's why I have made a pledge to our capital campaign fund. And I've been asked to let you know that as of today, our dollar amount raised is $920,000, which is 61% of our goal. Yes. But our participation rate could use some help. We're at 29%. And so I've been asked to let you know we value every pledge from $1 to $1 million and more. We really do want everybody to be invested. So please, if you haven't made your pledge yet, think seriously about what is a meaningful number for you. You have 3 years to make that pledge, to pay the pledge, and participate and be a part of what we do going forward. So that's why I'm asking everyone to please pledge as generously as they can. And it's why I've already made my first quarterly payment on my pledge, because I want us to be able to start right away to bring the mechanics of this space into the 20th century. So please join me in investing in the future of this faith that we share, of this space that we love, and for the children who are yet to come through these doors, whose lives will be shaped just as ours have been by this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. One other thing about the capital campaign, you may notice we have a projector in the middle. You may notice that the setup is a little janky. We got a projector on a music stand with a puzzle box in front of it, blocking it right now. it is wonderful to have the ability to do sort of multimedia presentations to bring in people from outside like we're gonna do today. And it would be really, really amazing if in the future we were able to do so in a way that didn't rely on the expertise of our tech team and their ability to swerve with new conditions quite as much as we do right now. So I think what Maria said about participating in the community and looking forward to the future is the thing that matters most to me, one of the things that matters to me. But if you're looking for something tactile, look no further than Center Stage. It's also another opportunity to give money right now. Our Share the Plate, half of the money goes to our basic operating expenses at this church. The other half goes to an organization that carries our work into the world in ways that we would not be able to do on our own. For the month of May, our partner is Reading Ready Pittsburgh. You can read a little bit more about them in your order of service, but I encourage you, as we said earlier, to practice generosity, knowing that when you are generous in one place, you bring that generosity and care into the rest of your life. So with that, I now invite up our ushers. Thank you. During the offertory, some of us came up and lit candles or placed stones in the water as a way to mark our joys, sorrows, and nuanced feelings that spread the realm between them. I have my own joy to share today, which is that for the last week I've been in Portland, Maine, meeting my newborn nephew, who was born about a week and a half ago and is very small and very crinkly and a source of great delight for my brother and for his wife. However, not all joys can be named, and sorrows live in us in this complicated world. Sometimes sorrows that we don't even know about until we check the news and see about a new war, a new expression of hatred, new deaths that mar this beautiful existence and make our connection with each other harder and more painful. But there is beauty, and there is connection, and there is life. And so for now, I invite you into a few moments of meditation, silence, or personal prayer as we hold those joys, sorrows, and everything in between. Today is Mother's Day, and we celebrate all those many gendered mothers, all those who are mothers in many ways, mothers of the heart, of the spirit, of the mind, those who offer their nurturing to others without consideration for what they get in return, whoever they may look like, whoever they give their love to. We also hold that motherhood and its deep connections carries with it deep pain for some of us, that not all of us have had mothers in the ways that we would have liked, have not been able to be mothers in the ways that others deserve, have not been able to be mothers at all because of how the world has landed upon us. To be connected to others, to be nurturing, to be a parent in whatever way that looks, is a holy thing. It is not a gated community that belongs only to some. It is something that belongs to all of us together, that we carry forth into the world in the ways that we pursue loving connections, this world of beauty, this world of pain, this world of tender care for those around us. Our sung response will be number 51 in the gray hymnal, Lady of the Season's Laughter.
Lady of the season's laughter, in the summer's warmth be near, when the winter follows after. Teach our spirits not to fear. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning year. Sister of the evening starlight, in the falling shadows stay, here among us till the far light of tomorrow's dawning ray. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning day. Mother of the generations, in whose love all life is worth, everlasting celebrations bring our labor safe to birth. Hold us in your midst of all time's progression, stand with us when we engage, hands and hearts to oppression, writing history's fair page. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning age.
Thank you. Is it on? Yes. Okay. I had the honor and joy of working with our high school youth to do these credo statements. This coming of age service and this coming of age program is a Unitarian Universalist rites of passage, much like a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah or communion, where the youth have to prepare something ahead of time. And it requires a lot of courage from them, which they are more than up to the task. But I also was fortunate enough to be joined by Mac in co-teaching, who had grown up in that kind of program and who had been through a coming of age program. So I want to tell you right now that the presentations you are about to see and hear are truly astonishing, and I know you're going to enjoy them, and we're just going to go through them one by one. So I invite Miles to come up first, Miles Lev.
I think faith is best explained through questions. When we are questioned is when we really think about what we believe. I have some questions on me think about what I believe and how my beliefs influence me. How did the world begin? After learning about the history of our planet, I think the world was developed over time, over millions of years through evolution, and that it started with the Big Bang. What do I believe now? I don't believe that there is a God that watches from above, but that God exists best as an idea to encourage people to be the best versions of themselves and to be there if you need someone. What will happen in the future? I want to make a difference in the world. I don't need to make a big difference, but I want to have a positive impact on the people that I'm around. I want to make a difference to the people that I'm connected with. This is one of my goals. When I die, I don't believe there is an afterlife, but I do believe that heaven and hell are on earth, and that when we make good decisions, we are in heaven, but when we make bad decisions, we are in hell. How do other people's beliefs affect me? Sometimes, even if I don't agree with someone's beliefs, I think it's very important that the world has a wide, diverse range of beliefs. If we didn't, everyone would be the same, which doesn't really work. Overall, I'm pretty aware of what I believe in, but I'm always open to change my beliefs if I learn something new.
Fantastic. I invite Oscar Atkinson. We have a PowerPoint presentation, and Mac is going to help. We have the PowerPoint presentation. Do you want me to read it? It's your presentation. Okay, he's going to read it. It's a beautiful presentation, but he was going to read. So. I got it.
All right. So, I believe that there is a supreme force of good in this world, and I believe that supreme force comes from the past and what the people before us did, and their struggles and their overcoming of those. I believe that this is Jah, and I believe that this is what will make the world a better place. I believe that there are also terrible things in this world, but I believe that those things will be overcome in time by Jah. I believe that there are evil systems in this world put in place to oppress people. I believe those are Babylon, and I believe that they will, yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah. I don't see it. Okay. I believe these are rot, and I believe that that rot can be cured.
Thank you so much. Now we have a PowerPoint credo for Aria. I'm going to read it while we show the slides. As you can see, they put a lot of effort into these. Okay, slide 1, my beliefs. We're good? Okay. I believe that when we die, that's it. Our thoughts and feelings end and our consciousness ceases to exist. This belief is scary for many, myself included, but it is what I believe, and it's not something I can change. This idea of the fact that death is the end is a very hard one for some people to believe. For some people, the afterlife or reincarnation are better options for them to believe in. They can live a better life believing that it is not the end. That's the thing about beliefs, is that everyone's beliefs are just what they need to believe to live the most fulfilling lives. My connections to other religions. Before I continue, I want to make one thing clear. I'm an atheist. No God or afterlife. End of story. However, while I don't believe in God or gods as their own beings, I still appreciate them for what they represent. I appreciate the Greek gods because they provide a personification of certain aspects of the world which make connecting and interacting with the world easier. I view the Greek gods as characters and stories which help us understand the world a little better. I appreciate the gods not as immortal deities, but as personified concepts. My values. Like most people, my beliefs stem from my values, the ideas which I find the most important and which have the greatest impact on how I live my life. Compassion. I try to live my life by giving the people around me kindness and empathy. Knowledge. Knowing things about the world and everything in it is very important to me. I live my life by seeking an understanding of everything around me. Overall, I am an atheist with an appreciation for Greek mythology who values knowledge and compassion. Juliet?
Okay. I was in 3rd grade standing at the edge of the sea, bare feet being stabbed by broken pieces of shells, sticks, and sand. It was a rainy October day and much too cold to swim, so instead I walked barefoot in the shallow part of the water, collecting seashells and shivering. I looked at the crashing waves and gray ocean with the reverence of someone who had never seen anything beautiful in their life. As I walked, I picked up seashells from the ground, putting the pretty spirals in my pocket. I must have taken home my suitcase from that trip 5 pounds heavier than when we arrived. Chrysanthemums have always been my favorite flower. The elegant sound of their name and how they bloom around my birthday. The nickname Mums reminded me of how my mother grew up in Canada and thus called my grandma Mum and not Mom, though she will tell you they sound the exact same. The same with sunflowers. My neighbors had some in their yards. When we would walk to the park in the fall, I would admire the yellow that complemented the orange and red leaves. A few years after our trip to the beach, I took a class at the Gifted Center all about the patterns that appear in music. I thought it was incredibly boring and only half paid attention, but the part that stuck out to me was when my teacher talked about the golden ratio in music. I couldn't remember what exactly she said because I was only half paying attention, so while writing this, I decided to look it up. It's prevalent in many classical pieces, for example, the beat or rhythm, but also in modern music. There's a golden point in songs, or the part where the music reaches its most climactic, or there's just something special about it. But even though I've never paid attention in this class, the golden ratio always stuck with me. I thought back to going to the ocean and how the golden ratio is prevalent in the spirals of the waves and shells. It also appears in flowers, including the repeating pattern in sunflowers and chrysanthemums. There are many things in life and nature that are so beautiful and perfect, it's hard to believe they aren't holy or created by some superior being, but I do. All around me, even just sitting in my room, I can see the golden ratio everywhere I look. It's made me think about how life has developed since the universe existed and how I have evolved in my own time living. Each change and mistake I make is just how I become more beautiful and perfect, just like the universe. I made a mistake. I meant to edit this out, but I said in all caps, humans don't need to do crazy stuff. And what I mean is, humans don't need to go to the top of Mount Everest to see something beautiful, because you can look in the faces around you and see beauty from perfection, like an innate beauty and perfection in ourselves. Our lives are just meant to appreciate this perfection.
Last but not least, we have a video from Eddie Starosinic, who can't be with us today, but was determined to be a part of this.
Walking and talking is something like peanut butter and jelly. Ever since I was little, my family and I would walk anywhere we could. Often we would walk at night. The only thing guiding our path was either the vivid orange street lights in Lawrenceville or fireflies and gravel crunching beneath our feet at Canada Lake. The quiet nights inspired questions of anywhere my curiosity took me. I had so many questions, in fact, that my family coined the term Eddie questions, and oftentimes my dad was elected to bear the responsibility of satisfying my persistent wonder. Each night was a new topic: morality, evolution, religion, science, history, reality, the list goes on. It seemed my dad was just as intrigued teaching me as I was learning. As I got older, one topic that particularly piqued my interest was free will, and whether we possessed it or not. After my dad's initial preface of him not knowing much about the subject, he explained to me the idea of nature versus nurture, meaning your decision-making is derived from two sources: who you were at birth and your experiences as you grew up. As we walked and talked through it, there was one question nagging my mind: what drives us to do anything at all? Thinking about the question, I was taken back to a rudimentary law of how all things interact with each other. Newton's first, most fundamental law of motion, the law of inertia. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion. Essentially what Newton is saying is that something doesn't just happen without reason. Something happens because something else caused it to happen. Everything we experience is simply movement on a very small scale, particles interacting with each other. Sound is vibration through the air, heat is fast movement of particles, and we have thoughts and move their electrical impulses in our bodies. Everything we do and experience are objects interacting with each other. If this and the law of inertia holds true, then everything that has happened was always going to happen, sort of like one big domino effect. Objects move because another object caused it to, and if it wouldn't have moved otherwise, then it was always going to happen. In essence, what I am saying is that I don't believe we have free will. One night, and another long walk, I explained this revelation to my sister, Amy. She patiently waited until I finished rambling, and then she finally responded. Doesn't that seem kind of grim? At first glance, the notion of predetermination does seem cynical and somewhat depressing. However, in many ways there is great beauty in it, and it has helped me to appreciate how special and important each moment is that we are alive. I'm extremely grateful for the way that I have been raised and how I have grown up in this church, because it has encouraged me to wonder and question. One of the principles of the church that I hold closest to is that we all have the right for a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. In my search for meaning, I have found that we all have an innate desire to find something, whether it is beauty, knowledge, peace, or connection, and that is our purpose in life. In a series of infinite moments, it is infinitely unlikely that I am even alive, and it is even more of a privilege that I am able to consciously experience life and have the mental capacity to question, learn, and continue to wonder. Even with this tremendously small improbability, it was always going to happen. Time, in the absence of a beginning, has always led to my existence, exactly the way I am. And with this great privilege, my great responsibility is that of the staggeringly significant effect I have on everything around me. If everything exists only because of the things that happen around it, every decision you make is profoundly important. Every day I am eternally grateful to be a member of the Unitarian Church, to be alive, and to be able to question.
Stay comfortable. This is part of most rites of passage, is offering some kind of a blessing. We are responsible for you. We feel involved in your life and your upbringing, and so we have best wishes that we want to give you. And so I'm going to let the minister lead that.
Wow. Yeah. Can we give some more affirmation for extraordinary? Oh. And they do that during their awkward adolescence, which is even more courageous. Yeah. There's adult adolescence awkwardness too. Trust me, it doesn't always go away. What I'd like for this blessing, I brought the water over here. This is from part of the water that came from the gathering of the waters that we do in the fall. So this is water that's been gathered from members and from some of you. And I'm not going to flick it on you, I promise. But it is a way of blessing. And so there are two ways I'd like to bless. And I would invite, if you are able in body and spirit, to stand as you are able in body and spirit, everybody. And there, some of you, you guys are here, good right here, but some of you, I invite you, if you can please put your hand on the person who is next to you, particularly the families of our coming of age class. Put your hand on the shoulder with permission, ask for permission. May I put my hand on you? I want to create basically that everybody is connected at some point. So if you don't mind just putting your hand on their shoulder or on their back, if you're comfortable. Yep. Or hold up your hands. Yep. And if you two want to come down as well. Yep. And if you're not comfortable being touched, just hold up your hands. Yep. We heard some really profound insights. Some of those insights came from their own life experiences. They processed it and thought about it and learned from it. Some of those insights came from their parents or from grandparents or from some of their friends or from YouTube and social media, and hopefully from Mac and from Erica and maybe a little bit from me and their teachers from religious education. We invite you, as you go forward, to take those lessons and to keep asking questions, keep reflecting, keep wondering, keep looking for wonder into this world. You have been a blessing to us today. And in return, we turn our blessing back upon you in this beautiful cycle of blessing and love. So I invite each of you silently in your hearts and your minds to send the blessing on to these coming of age as they go out into this world with their insights and their questions. May they know that this place, First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh, or any Unitarian Universalist church anywhere in the world, is home, is your religious home, your spiritual quest that you can return to with your questions, and know that you will always, always be welcomed. No matter where you are in this world, you will be welcomed. May our chalice be a beacon of light when you are lost or lonely. May our chalice be a light of inspiration and guidance. May this water that I now touch and give back to all of you be a blessing into your journey, knowing that you are nourished with love and celebration for who you are and who you've yet to become. And as one of you said, go forth, make heaven on this earth. You are here blessed and charged to make heaven here on this earth. You don't need to climb Mount Everest, but you do need to look upon the ones who are journeying with you and see the beauty and the wonder. Thank you. Blessings for all.
Please rise in body or spirit as you are comfortable to sing our closing hymn, number 326, Let All the Beauty We Have Known.
Let all the beauty we have known illuminate our hearts and minds. Rejoice in wonders daily shown, in faith and joy and love that binds. Let all them with singing hearts the loveliness of sky and earth, the inspiration of the heart, the miracle of every birth. Wise music and its poetry surround and bless us through our days. For these we sing in harmony, together giving thanks and praise.
Do you all feel blessed by what we heard today? I do. Thank you again. As we extinguish our chalice, we extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Coming of age youth, there are a few more surprises coming from you, so stick around afterward.
As you go forth into this world, may you be blessed. May you be a blessing upon this world. We all may or may not have free choice, but we do have choices. Make them with the wisdom that you have gained today from these very wise, wise young people. Go forth into this world and return again with your love and your commitment and your joy. Amen. Please rise as you're able for 295. Sing out praises for the journey.
church and